The history and life of Jomo Kenyatta. Early life and education. Jomo Kenyatta, born Kamau Warangengi around 1897 in the village of Gatundu in British East Africa, present-day Kenya, was the son of Muigai wa Kungu and Wambui. He belonged to the Kikuyu ethnic group, the largest ethnic community in Kenya. Early education. Kenyatta was educated at the Church of Scotland Mission at Togoto, near Nairobi, where he was baptized as Johnston Kamau. His education exposed him to Christian teachings and Western ways of life. He worked various jobs, including as a clerk and a water meter reader. In 1924, he joined the Kikuyu Central Association, KCA, a political organization advocating for African rights, marking the beginning of his political career. In 1929, Kenyatta traveled to London to present the KCA's grievances to the British government. During this period, he attended Woodbrick Quaker College in Birmingham and later studied at the London School of Economics under anthropologist Bronislaw Malinowski. Political activism and the quest for independence. Kenyatta's time in Europe significantly influenced his political ideology and tactics. He became a prominent advocate for Kenyan independence. Role in Pan-Africanism. Kenyatta participated in the 1945 Pan-African Congress in Manchester, where he met other African leaders and anti-colonial activists. This Congress played a crucial role in shaping his nationalist ideas and strategies. Return to Kenya. In 1946, Kenyatta returned to Kenya and became the principal of Kenya Teachers College at Githunguri. He also resumed political activities, joining the Kenya African Union, KAU, and eventually becoming its president in 1947. Mau Mau Uprising. The late 1940s and early 1950s saw increasing tensions between the colonial government and Kenyan nationalists. The Mau Mau Uprising, a revolt against British colonial rule, began in 1952. Although Kenyatta was not directly involved in the uprising, his leadership of KAU made him a target for the British authorities. Imprisonment and trial. In 1952, Kenyatta and other nationalist leaders were arrested and charged with managing the Mau Mau movement. The trial, held in Kapenguria, resulted in Kenyatta's conviction. Kapenguria 6. Kenyatta, along with 5 other leaders, collectively known as the Kapenguria Six, was sentenced to 7 years in prison with hard labor. His imprisonment turned him into a symbol of resistance against colonial rule. Global attention. Kenyatta's trial and imprisonment attracted international attention and increased support for the Kenyan independence movement. His advocacy for peaceful negotiation rather than violent uprising distinguished his leadership. Path to independence. Kenyatta was released in 1961, and he immediately resumed his political activities, leading Kenya towards independence. Formation of KANU. In 1960, while still in detention, Kenyatta became president of the newly formed Kenya African National Union, KANU. KANU, which united various nationalist factions, played a pivotal role in negotiating Kenya's independence. Lancaster House Conferences. Kenyatta led KANU in the Lancaster House Conferences in London, where constitutional negotiations for Kenya's independence took place. His diplomatic skills were crucial in securing favorable terms for the new nation. Independence and presidency. On December 12, 1963, Kenya gained independence, and Kenyatta became the country's first prime minister. The following year, Kenya became a republic, and Kenyatta was elected its first president. Presidency and nation building. As president, Kenyatta focused on nation building, economic development, and maintaining stability. Harambee philosophy. Kenyatta promoted the Harambee philosophy, meaning pulling together, in Swahili. This philosophy encouraged collective effort and unity in building the nation. Economic policies. His government prioritized agricultural development, infrastructure projects, and education. Land redistribution was a contentious but critical policy aimed at addressing historical injustices. Authoritarian tendencies. While Kenyatta's administration achieved significant progress, it also faced criticism for authoritarian practices. Political dissent was often suppressed, and opposition parties were marginalized. Foreign policy. Kenyatta pursued a non-aligned foreign policy, balancing relations with both Western and Eastern blocs during the Cold War. He maintained close ties with neighboring African nations and was a proponent of Pan-African unity. Legacy and death. Kenyatta's legacy is multifaceted, marked by his role as a freedom fighter, nation builder, and controversial leader. Death. Jomo Kenyatta passed away on August 22, 1978. He was succeeded by his vice president, Daniel Arap Moi. Kenyatta's death marked the end of an era, but his influence on Kenya's political landscape endured. Legacy. Kenyatta is remembered as the founding father of Kenya, a leader who played a crucial role in the country's struggle for independence and its early years of nationhood. His legacy is commemorated in various ways, including Jomo Kenyatta International Airport and Kenyatta University. Controversies. Despite his achievements, Kenyatta's presidency was not without controversy. His government's approach to land redistribution and allegations of nepotism and corruption have been subjects of criticism. Conclusion. Jomo Kenyatta's life and career encapsulate the complex journey of Kenya from colonial rule to independence. As a leader, he was instrumental in galvanizing the nationalist movement, negotiating Kenya's independence, and laying the foundations for the new nation. His legacy, while celebrated for its pivotal contributions to Kenya's freedom and development, also invites scrutiny and debate over the challenges and contradictions that marked his tenure. Kenyatta remains a towering figure in Kenya's history, embodying the aspirations and struggles of a nation in its quest for self-determination and unity.